Hello Geeks and Gamers, it's Matt Lemke from Through Gamer Goggles, and I have returned safely from Adepticon. Actually, many of you might already know that because you've been watching the interviews. I wanted to get that done before I did my post-show update, and it's, I believe, mostly done. Everything's just about posted. I have a couple game demos to post yet. And some emails to return, and some thank yous. So what happened at Adepticon? Well, I did some cool things, like I played Frostgrave. We are going to talk about Frostgrave quite a bit in the near future. We're talking about Adepticon now, so I will come back to Frostgrave at a later date. There's going to be a full written review, and for the first time ever on, I think, an Osprey game, that's a miniatures rulebook without minis, I'm actually going to do a flip through, just because there's some things in the book I want to point out, which I don't normally do. I usually do that with a screenshot. But we're going to do that too, and then we're going to do, it's a lot of fun. I had fun with it. We're going to talk about some things, and I'm not really sure where to start. Let's start with what I brought back from Adepticon to keep me busy between now and the time of Origins. So inside my booty box, we have the Wreck Age 2-player starter, which includes 8 minis, which is 5 drifters and 3 stitchers, and that is a pretty balanced fight, believe it or not. It comes with all sorts of different tokens, the quick start rules, which are really easy to read. And then, let's see, there's more. I have more Wreck Age stuff. You're going to be seeing a flip through on their rule book, which, as flip throughs go for their rule book, a lot of things I do are in full color. This one, however, is not. But since Wreck Age is both a miniatures game and an RPG game, it deserves a flip through. I'm going to zoom in on my ugly face, probably, so that you can see things. Whoa, we're really zoomed in. Can you see that? You can. Hey, look at that. I got a couple bombshell miniature babes. This is Professor Carrick. This is actually something that my wife's going to use for her Artificer in Dungeons and Dragons. And I am a fan of the Chinese martial arts, so I got Wuling Shu. Let's see what else is in here that we can use the camera for right off the bat. We have the 2 Reclaimer Zealots. These are 2 of the newer models for Wreck Age. We have the Lyle Caravan Outcast. Let's go this way. And we'll put all these together, and we have, capybaras. We have some capybaras because, well, everybody ate the cows, so now they eat capybaras. What else is in here? I thought there was, here we go. We have the Scourge Desolator for Drop Zone Commander. Come on, come into focus. Good boy. We have the Shaltari Gariel Command. We have the UCM Kodiak. And these will all be figure forges here in the next couple of weeks. Along with, I can probably zoom out for these. Along with the Fisherman's Guild starter set for Guild Ball and the Butcher's starter set for Guild Ball. Each of these contains 3 minis. Now, about Guild Ball. Guild Ball was one of 2 games at Adepticon that was probably the first showing feature. The other one was Arena Rex, which they sold so much stuff in their booth, was so hard to get in. All I managed to do was get a game demo with them. I'll be picking some stuff up here in the near future from them, though, so hopefully before Origins you'll see that as well. Forgetting, one of the better things I did at Adepticon was I went to Mantic Saturday Night. And at Mantic Saturday Night, they give you this little goodies bag. Now, I'll grab the stuff that I bought at Mantic Saturday Night first. It's older packaging, but, it's stuff that's going to come back around. So I got an old packaged Dead Zone Rebs Commander. Just to put it in perspective, I don't remember the retail cost of it, but it was $1. And then I picked up the Rebs Faction Starter because I like the minis and I have lots of uses for these guys, not just Dead Zone. It was a $5 buy. And they did other things. They did giveaways. One guy walked out with the huge box of Dread Zone Terrain. You know, like I think it's a $250 box. And then all this stuff is the stuff that they give away at the door. You get a Dungeon Saga slide rule. You get the tokens that were provided by Outrider Hobby. And easily, I mean, this stuff, I'm sure if I would have went around and priced it, it would have added up to being more than the $30 I paid to get into the Manic Saturday Night. And you get an Ironheart Artisan's piece of terrain. Along with a Battle Zones, which one is this? This is the Ruined Outpost. And on the back you have all the different things you can do. So, where do I go from here? I spent a lot of time at Adepticon walking around for the first couple of days and getting a feel for the show and finding out who was there. And what did I learn? I learned that Adepticon is a show driven by games. And as a result, I'm going to guess that, I'm not going to say they don't spend money, because the guys that sponsored me and took me into their room, I think they spend a decent amount of money. At least I think it's a decent amount. It's a lot more than I would spend at any show. And well, maybe that's just because I've got 3 kids, you know, and what they spent takes me a week to feed them. So maybe it's not a lot of money, and maybe I'm old-fashioned and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But what I learned is that I thought there was going to be a tremendous amount of manufacturers there for miniatures games, especially new small miniatures games, and they were not as plentiful as I thought. So I didn't do nearly as many of interviews as I thought I was going to do, but I do have a good game plan for talking to people next year and things like that. It is still largely a Games Workshop play base in the sense of for 40K. Now, with that being said, the Mantic Games Tournament for Kings of War totally crushed the Age of Sigmar tournament. There was 50 players in the Mantic tournament and about 18 in the Age of Sigmar event. Now, with that being said, the Ninth Age guys, the fan-based Warhammer group, they had a good turnout. They had somewhere between 20 and 30 players for their fantasy event, which was impressive because it's a totally fan-driven group. I kind of don't count it because, well, even though the fantasy players are fanatical, I think because it's fan-driven, they might run into some obstacles that might hurt them in the long run. So if they survive 2 or 3 years, I'll start counting them as a little bit more legitimate, which I think is fair. I'm not trying to be mean or saying that they're just, you know, they can't do anything, because that's certainly not what I'm trying to say. It's just that in this industry, fan organizations don't seem to succeed nearly as often as the manufacturers do, and I think that's a fair statement. So what else was cool? Well, Frostgrave totally blew my mind. I played Frostgrave. I learned how to play in about 5 minutes, and the 2 guys that sponsored me and took me into their room, Jay and Dan, thank you. They pretty much played Frostgrave on Saturday for 12 to 14 hours. That's how much they dug the game. They played some Wrath of Kings against each other, and they played some Age of Sigmar against each other, but pretty much once they played Frostgrave, that was it. That's all they did for the show. Like I said, I spent a lot of time walking around. I took about 600 photos. I didn't use them all. I only used around 400 of the photos. I chatted with the guys from Drop Zone Commander. I got some good ideas on what to do next year, like I said. I played some demo games. I watched Wrath of Kings be played. I have a better understanding than I did a year ago at this time, and I've changed my opinion a little bit as to whether or not I would actually play the game, and I would play the game if I had a decent play group for it. What else? I took a lot of photos. I met some new people. I had a good time with Hyacinth Games. You know, they did a great job of chatting with me about stuff and sharing information, which you can check out the interview. I was very pleased to see the turnout that the Firestorm Armada tournament had. It was a lot larger than I anticipated because I've run Firestorm Armada tournaments at Origins and had nobody show up with models, and they had to use mine. Whereas I think there was probably close to 30 players at Adepticon. And then, I mean, of course, Adepticon is a miniatures event, and I've been wanting to go for 7 years. And I'm going to try and go back next year. I don't know how I'm going to work that out yet, but it's definitely something I want to do. It was a good show. I had a lot of fun. There were a couple times where I was a little bit bored because, well, I really didn't play in any events because it was my first year and I really wanted to try and interview more people. Like, I saw my friends from DGS Games, but they were so busy. All I really got to do was talk with them a little bit and take some photos of their new minis. You know, there was a couple other people there. Like, Rex Arcana was so hard to talk to. Wait. Arcana Rex. I'm dyslexic, so I might have just butchered their name. But, you know, it's a Coliseum-based game, and you're gladiators, and their booth was so packed. When I went up there to film my demo, I had to wait for 45 minutes to get in and film the demo. The one guy, all he did is he had this box that was about the size of a 55-gallon trash can. And all he did is take stuff out of it and put it on the shelf all day long. That's all he did. So the game is really hot. Check it out. Check out the game demo, which I don't believe I posted yet. It'll be going up, well, I'm filming this. It'll probably go up before this, so it is probably up. Anyway, with that being said, that wraps up everything I did for Adepticon. You've got things to look forward to from me in the next few weeks for miniature games, guys. I know I've been kind of on sabbatical for miniature games, but I'm back. Adepticon really got me fired up. I'm really annoyed at myself that I've been home for 7 days now. It's Saturday. 6 days now, and I haven't painted anything. But I spent 5 hours yesterday sorting and organizing my basement so I could work in it. I probably have another 10 hours to go. I mean, look at these shelves. They're a bit of a disaster. Anyway, thanks for swinging by. You guys want anything from me, you know, just post it in the comments below. Check it out. Please, when you post it below, because this gets shared around Facebook, please go to the Through Gamer Goggles Facebook page and share it there. It's a lot easier to track down your comments. That's all I ask. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day.